I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I live in the real world. I mean, everybody has to have a job, right? Mine just happens to be CS, customer service, solutions, relationships, while keeping my team pumped up and motivated to keep a constant connection with those who have chosen to walk into our location. Episode number 80, Easter weekend, grand thefts, and the preacher's kid. This is C.T.C.S.
Transition walk, day number 1 out of 4. Whew. People don't get to see the side of me that has to bust his living tail before he goes into CS. The interviews, the editing, the posting. I mean, it's a full-time job stuffed into, and it sounds like I'm bitching. All right, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop. That's what the transition walk is all about. We're in this beautiful forest. It's like 71 degrees already. We're gonna listen to everything that's going on around us. And we're going to transition because we're going to customer service. And I hate saying that, customer service. It's guest services. So maybe I should just change the name of the show to C.T.C.S. Guest Services. The moment that you arrive at the store, walking from the parking lot into the store, you assess the damage. The first thing I do is I look at the corrals to find out how many carts are out here. I mean, the store's been open since 6 a.m. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What the hell gives? That's an impression. That's one of those things where people look at stuff like that and go, well, if all the carts are out here, there's none inside. So that means that we're going to have to go look for one. And what are the chances they're going to come back? And that's always important to me. And I guess that's my weakness, but at the same time, it's also my strength. We talk about this a lot. The sales end, let's say on 4/4, today's 4/6, but the tag is still there that says you can get this goat cheese for $10.99. And you know what happens every time? We've got to honor it and just make sure that you take down the tag. Let me tell you something. I've had to take tags down. It's a very hideous job. I mean, you have to be focused. You have to be focused the entire time. Back in receiving, and you should see what's back there. I mean, crate after crate after crate of the prime drink. And, this is that drink that the MMA wrestler, put out there on the social media, and the world has gone crazy for it. Well, we're headed into spring break, and knowing that, we've got a lot of prime we know we're going to sell. We now take you to a live report with new guy Bill, who is going to try prime on the scene where it's actually being sold and give us his point of direction and if he really does enjoy it. Bill?
So I finally understand what it is. All the young people are raving about this new drink by Logan Paul. It's called Prime. They have a hydration drink and an energy drink. So I went ahead and grabbed me a Prime, the ice pop version. It's red, white, and blue. It looks great. Stuck it in the ice box over there where we keep our bags of ice for over an hour, and I just picked it up and tried it, and oh my God, it is amazing. It has an artificial sweetener in it, but it's so good. I cannot explain it. I was not expecting it to be that good. So I guess you can call me a Gen X Y millennium now because I have indulged in the deliciousness that is Prime.
Easter weekend, you're putting out the Easter lilies. Man, people are buying them.
See how many we have?
Yeah, because you're buying them.
Yeah, and those. I might just be gone.
So you think the Easter lilies will outdo the roses this weekend then?
Honestly, no. The roses.
Roses always sell.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, especially on like a Thursday or a Friday night, because that's where the guys come and get the single roses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You ever just want to just look at them and say, booty call, right, dude?
Yeah. The lilies, the Easter lilies really have... I mean, me personally, I don't think that they're as popular as the roses.
Right. See, I would take them home and put them in the ground.
No people know that. Not people know how to take care of them.
Right.
They might put them in another planter or something.
Yeah. Oh, no, they got to go to the ground so they can keep growing back.
Yeah, every year.
From the department of, what the hell is going on here? Can you really explain it? Would I be crossing the line if I tried to ask questions? This is the third time that a co-worker has brought groceries back to the store before he leaves. He gets them while he's on break. He buys them. And then he comes up to customer service and he says, I've decided I don't want these. I want my money back. Today it was $45.89. But then in the cart, he's got other groceries that he does want. But this is the third time. Is there anything wrong with this? What in the hell is going on here? Just explain it to me. Why you bought it and now you're sending it back to buy new stuff. What in the hell is going on here? Always remember, no matter who you are, you're always on camera. So we went back, we looked at the camera. It looks like that somebody couldn't pay for their groceries. Somebody stepped up and to pay for them, but the other person that was going to receive the free groceries from the person that's going to buy them for them decided to leave the store anyway. So the lady who bought the groceries turned to the coworker and said, you can have them. And then therefore what he did at that point in time was then he decided that, well, I don't want this stuff here. I'm here. I have a receipt, but I'm going to go and get what I really do want. Once again, what the hell is going on here, and was that legal? I don't know, but this is the kind of drama that takes place. Transition walk, day number 2 out of 4, Easter weekend. Man, it's cold as hell out here in this forest today. How am I supposed to focus on the environment and the love of the universe if we're out here freezing, raining? I don't know if you can hear the wind or not. The storms that we walk through in order to get to. I could do an entire podcast on that. The storms that we walk through in order to get to. Well, we're on our way to CS here in a little bit, but right now we're going to transition. Going from that podcaster who is blessed with the opportunity to talk with a lot of creative people, and now I get to go be with a lot of famous people, my community. There's nothing good about this Good Friday, and that's not being a negative, okay? What that is that's being honest. I mean, everybody, they're out of school, they're out of work, and their place right now is to be at the grocery store because it's 3 days off, and they're ready to get into their own rising. So busy, balls to the wall busy. The power goes out on Good Friday. My God, I was unregistered too. You were in self-checkout. What was your world like?
I had 9 robots to watch. I had a lady shoving stuff in her bag.
Really?
When the power went out, there's nothing I could do. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I didn't really care, but she looked at me and as she was looking at me, shoving it right in the bag. And I'm like, oh, wow, we're doing this?
Yeah.
And then I go over and a lady's card starts declining, and it's her fault. And she goes, well, I have $100 in there. And I go, what's declining it for insufficient funds? And I go, I'm just telling you what it says. And she goes, I'm just telling you what I have in my bank account. And I'm like, well, apparently you don't have $100 in there.
It's always fun to catch up with old friends who had children who are now adults. And this is Ryan Boozer. And I was at 104.7 when his birth was on the air. And to see him, and he's talking about his baby today, it's like, oh my God, this is such a full circle thing. You don't feel old. You feel lucky. You feel lucky that you got to be in this moment where we're looking at the second generation. So, a money scammer, or is it somebody laundering money? What are they doing? Because it seems like other stores are now calling us about this gentleman.
I think he's cleaning his money. I don't know how he's getting the money, but he's coming in and he's buying $499 gift cards.
Yeah.
Western Union charges 99 cents for the money order. So he's giving us $500.
Yeah.
And he's staying under the radar because at 3,000 we have to log it.
Yeah.
And so I think what he's doing 1,000 here, 1,000 down the road, 1,000 somewhere else. And he's a nice guy, don't get me wrong. He wears suits, he drives a Mercedes. You know, he comes in, but it's so suspicious. And in my eyes, what he's doing in this store is legal. He's not doing anything illegal. It's not my job to pursue this outside.
Yeah.
There are people that want to, but as far as it goes with me, I'm not the police. I'm not the government.
Yep.
You know, if you're coming in here and you're doing everything legal, then it is what it is.
Transition walk, day number 3 out of 4. It is cold as hell out here. Oh my God. Tomorrow is Easter, and the Carolinas are pretty much known for one more cold spell before spring settles in. But it's raining. The forest is full of so much music. But wow, I can't imagine what's going to be happening with the guests that are coming into our store today. The in and out people, get them in, get them out. Or you have the people that are going to hang out, because it never rains inside our store, never. And the temperature is always right. I finally figured out why they want to get rid of TikTok. I just fell witness to it over here at register number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 old men, maybe in their 70s.
Yeah.
We're talking about watching TikTok and how to pick out the right avocados.
Really?
He says, yeah, I was just on TikTok the other day. This is how you're supposed to pick out the right avocado. So the old people have invaded TikTok, so that makes it old-fashioned now.
Wow, yeah. So I guess it can go out of style then, right? Jeez, weird.
When he said it, I about fell over.
Wow, I can't believe it.
I wonder if they're going to do a dance video. I think it's the radio guy in me. I hear something that's taking place and my mind is already activated. It wants to come up with a solution and answer, maybe be a little smart-assy here and there. But a manager on duty is complaining about a coworker who's constantly spending at least 30 minutes in the bathroom. And my first response, and once again, this is probably the radio guy coming out of me, I go, man, you're paying him a lot of money to sit down on the job. Just received word that the mystery shopper is in the store. You know how I feel about this. You know, I don't want to go and tidy up the place immediately and start not making mistakes immediately. The reason for the mystery shopper is to catch us making the mistakes. It's like a martial artist, man. I hated it when my Sabanim would sit there and say, CT, 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 CT. And then when you look back at it now, you're going, look, he was just trying to make us better. That's what the mystery shopper is all about. Not just any weekend, it is a holiday weekend, and that means that the thefts are up and people are getting caught left and right. We just busted a woman with $573 worth of medication, from the Pepsid to teeth whitening, and of all things, she didn't take the strawberries. What gives her? I would steal the strawberries. What about you? But the thefts are up pretty high today. Wow, not even 30 minutes later, we got another one. I mean, this is like fishing. We got good worms, man, because we keep catching people steal. Now, in all honesty, I think it could be because the new GM takes stealing very seriously. And, he's got an eye on the ball. And when he starts seeing things that look a little abnormal, you got to take care of it right now. Nip it in the butt and catch him. So this person almost went out with $87 worth of food. The meat department was having a tough time with its codes on its ribeyes. And it didn't matter what number you put in, it wasn't reading it properly. So it became a fiasco. I mean, a mess. And I love what the manager said. He says, well, we're going to correct this situation. We're going to make this customer very happy. And he gave them all of their groceries free. I think it's a pretty understandable rule. If you're going to steal from our store and you get away with it the first time, because we caught you with 6 steaks the other day, and as you were walking out of the store, you turned around and looked at us and you gave us that look. You don't come back the next day and try to do it all over again, because the very second that you come into the store, we're going to engage in a conversation with you. Not a bad one. We're just going to stand next to you and have a conversation. And you're probably going to feel really nervous. And that's exactly what happened. And so that little theft ring there was broken up tonight. Transition walk, day number 4. Easter Sunday. Oh man, it's chilly out here, but man, the sun is bright. Had to get my God on. Always on day number 4. Got to get my God on. Because before I can go out there and serve that community on a 4th day, I got to make sure that my head is in the right place. My head and the heart. Big message today. It was based on Peter, defying Christ 3 times. And he had to learn how to live with it after the cross. So it's very interesting about how we all have those moments in our life where we make a big mistake. Now we've got to live beyond our cross. All right, let's get into CS. Oh, you can definitely tell that it's Easter Sunday. People are dressed up so pretty. They got their spring hats on and beautiful, colorful dresses. Families coming together. Not your typical Sunday. It's a little bit more laid back. But I mean, the grocery store is very full of people, but just in a different kind of a mindset. I think they're all coming from church. They've been cleansed. They've been healed. All the manager talk on the headset is based on, well, it's slow today. Yeah, we've got 3 call-ins where they're not coming in, and they're saying we're going to be okay, but they keep using that word slow. They are cursing us. We barely have a team here now on Easter Sunday, and if they keep talking about how slow it is, it's going to go kaboom, boom, boom, because I still believe that people are still in church, or they've got to go have their Easter lunch, and then they're coming to the store. Florence is 96 years old. About a month ago, she was in the store, and she lost her wallet. Florence didn't realize that she lost her wallet here in the store. And so this is the first time in a month that we've seen Florence, and walked right up to her and said, we've got something that belongs to you, Florence. And I keep on, she's 96 years old. And she, what would you have for me? And so then we showed her the wallet, and you talk about making someone's day on Easter. I mean, that right there was a beautiful Easter egg. You're going to start the conversation off by saying, bless his heart?
Yeah, he's an older guy.
He's a preacher.
Yeah, I call him the elderly Snoop Dogg because he kind of favors Snoop Dogg. And anyways, he came in to pick up money, and so I entered in the number he gave me, and I start going through the thing, and then I get to the bottom part where I get to go next, and you were a witness. It said, not enough information provided, contact Western Union.
Yeah.
So I started it over, entered in that same number, any other transaction, it would bring up that same information when we'd complete it. And it said record not found. So I told him that. He put me on the phone. It must have been his daughter. And the first words out of her mouth were, "Motherfucker, I gave the right number. You're not putting it in right." And I said, "Ma'am, I read back the number that I had." And she said, "What do I do?" And I said, "You need to go back in there to whoever you got it from and tell them we're having an issue picking it up. Just make sure it's right." "Motherfucker, I put in his right name." And she spelled out his entire name. I said,
"This is the preacher's daughter talking."
Preacher's daughter. And when I handed him back the phone, because I didn't want to hear it, I didn't even tell him why I gave him back the phone. And when he heard her, he said, "Listen, this is a place I go and do business. I don't need you acting like that."
No, good for him.
And so I'm up here scrambling. Now the number won't go in at all. I'm back on the phone with her. She supposedly has a Western Union agent on 3-way. And both of them are screaming at me. And I'm like, there's no way she's a Western Union agent. And so the number works. Magically starts working. I print out the paper, and it says sender, her name, receiver, her name.
Oh, the receiver, her name.
With no barcode. Now she starts screaming at me, saying that she didn't send it to herself. And I said, "No, I don't think you did. I think your Western Union agent did that."
Yeah.
And so you need to have it fixed. And she start, "Motherfucker, this."
Oh, my God.
So that's when I called up my manager. Yeah. And I said, "I need you up here ASAP. I don't know how far this is going to go." I didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah.
He was very cool about it. I wish everybody could be like him. He said, "Well, I've got a cab waiting on me. I've got to go. What do I do?" And so Jeff's like, "Hey, I need you to tell the sender to double check this, call Western Union, and have them send it to you and try it again tomorrow." So I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I want no part of this tomorrow. I will not do that transaction tomorrow.
There's a reason why they call it the circus, the nighttime team here at this grocery store, because it gets wild like a lion. It gets untamed like the tiger. It is the circus, but who's the ringleader? We all have to be the ringleader. Man, there's only 3 people here. Easter. They said, "Oh, everything's going to be all right. Nobody's going to come on Easter." Well, the circus is in town. We have a theft in action right now on aisle number 5. I knew something was up when he first came in. And so, you try to do what you're trained to do, and that is engage in a conversation. He got pretty pissed off at me because he wanted to know what my name was, and I pointed to my name tag, and he goes, "Fuck you, man. Nobody has that kind of a name." So now we've got different managers that are going to follow him. He's trying to make it into the bathroom. His backpack is stuffed with something. And I saw him in aisle number 5. He did put something in that backpack. So we'll keep you up to date. Here's an update with the man with the red backpack. He's pretty pissed off at me, and so he walked toward the bathroom, turned around and looked at me and started saying, "Oh, I wanted to know what your fucking name was." And then all of a sudden he goes, and then he just walks out the store. Look, we were trying to just engage with him and just, and because we didn't want him to take anything. We didn't want anybody to get in trouble. There's no better way to wrap up another week of C.T.C.S. than to hang out with this crazy jerk at 10 o'clock buying beer.
I represent that remark.
You do.
I may be crazy, but I'm not a jerk. I'm a friendly crazy guy. Yeah, and I did need beer.
Well, see, but when you have beer like that, you start getting a little jerky later on.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. The Green Fosters,
What is it about the Green Fosters? I mean, because we always do sample tastes and stuff like that, or samples of the beer.
$2 a can, and it's been $2 a can since 1983.
Really?
It's always been on sale. 2 for $4.
Really?
Yeah.
And what I think is funny about Foster's is that people come in here when we're running out, and they're pissed.
Yeah, right. There's plenty of there's plenty of blue Foster's back there, but these are the last 2 cans of Green Foster's.
What's wrong with the blue? Why does it have to be the green?
The blue is more like lager, like a Bud Light, only without the crazy pictures on it,
All right, that's C.T.C.S. We'll see you next week. Remember, you can find out more on iHeartRadio as well as Spotify.